guys, welcome back to Ron's Rides, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where I'm here at Maserati Alfa Romeo Daytona Beach, and I have two beautiful white 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvios right behind me, as you guys can see. But these are TI and Sprint models. Yes, the entry level and the middle child of the trim levels for the 2022 lineup. And I wanted to compare and contrast them because these specs are almost all the same. I mean, the TI has one option on it, and that's the red brake calipers, and the Sprint has two options on it, one being the brake calipers, the other being the wheels. Other than that, they're the same, but what I want to show you guys is the comparison between the Sprint, which is the entry-level model, and the TI, which is the luxurious model, and kind of compare the two between the options on what comes with them standard. So with that said, you're going to have a $5,000 difference between the two, so really it's not much of a difference until you start adding options. So we'll go over that to see which one is right for you, all right? Either the Sprint or the TI model. Let's check this out and see what you guys think. So I couldn't have picked a gloomier day to put these two cars out here today, but here we are. Two 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvio models. So on the left here, we have the TI model, which again is the luxurious middle trim, and the right, which is the entry-level trim called the Sprint. Now with that said, there's a few changes for 2022 for the Alfa Romeo lineup. I won't get too much into that because I've done plenty of videos where you guys can hear about everything that's going away. What I really want to talk about today is these two cars and their standard options and the contrast between the two, because there's a $5,000 difference on that entry-level price. So what makes this so cool standard? What makes this so cool standard? And then which one do you feel like, you know, gives the best value for the money? So with that said, let's look at the two here. So first, let's talk about the engine specs, the cargo, and the fuel economy. Surprisingly, the fuel economy is different, but I will tell you why. Now, under the hood, we're used to that inline four-cylinder, 2-liter engine, all right, pumping out 280 horsepower and 306 pound-feet of torque, matted to that 8-speed ZF transmission. Then we have 56 cubic feet of space in the rear for both cars, and you know, we have the rear fold down all three ways, the privacy shade, all right, privacy shade up top here. We have cargo there. These are our floor mats there. We also have underneath, all right, your battery in the center there. You also have your front plate kit, your tire pressure kit, all that stuff, all right, that you guys are used to for these cars. Same there. So the fuel economy is very interesting, and the Sprint actually gets better fuel economy than the TI here, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So the Sprint has a combined city and highway for the miles per gallon, premium fuel only, 25 miles per gallon, all right? Then your city is 22, with your highway being 29. Now for the TI, it's actually 1 mile per gallon off. So you're looking at a combine of 24 miles per gallon for city and highway. Your city 22, that's the same, but your highway is 28. All right, so it's off by 1 mile per gallon for the highway, which makes it off overall 1 mile per gallon. Now, here's the big difference. You see that badge? That says Q4, all right? This is the all-wheel drive variant, to where the Sprint here is the rear-wheel drive variant, all right? So you will not see, I guess I'll have to show you up top there, you will not see that there is no Q4 badge there, all right? You will not see it on that car. So the rear-wheel drive model gets 1 mile per gallon better on the fuel economy than the all-wheel drive models. All right, so now that we got the specs out of the way, let's talk about what's standard on the 2022 Stelvio Sprint. So dark DLO, your dark roof rails, your dark grille, and your dark exhaust tips. You also get 18-inch gray spoke wheels, adaptive cruise control, blind spot, lane departure warning, auto high beam headlamps, wireless charging, front parking sensors, heated front and rear seats, heated sports steering wheel, black headliner, aluminum door sills, aluminum paddle shifters, and navigation, all standard on the Sprint model. Standard on the TI here, you get 19-inch 5-hole aluminum wheels, TI fender badge, dark roof rails, DLO, dark exhaust tips, adaptive cruise control, blind spot, lane departure warning, auto high beam headlamps. You also have wireless charging, headlamp washers, heated rear seats, hands-free lift gate, black headliner, aluminum pedals, and painted Vesuvio gray body kit. So that's standard here on the TI. So here's where the two models really start to separate, because on the Sprint here, you can't just get any type of option, and there's only a certain amount of options you can get. So some of the options that you can get on the Sprint come standard on the TI model. So some of the options here for the Sprint are the $1,350 panoramic roof, the 19-inch wheels at $1,000, the red sport seats at $1,600, the red brake calipers at $650, and a compact spare tire at $450. And same here for the TI. There's a certain options list you can get, and there's a certain amount of options you can get. And it starts with the Harman Kardon audio and leather package at $1,800. Then you have your level 2 ADAS, which is your driver assistance, at $1,000, your 20-inch wheel option at $1,000, your red brake calipers at $650, your chocolate leather at $600, and your compact spare tire at $450. All right, guys, so now that we know all of the details down to the nitty-gritty for every option that's different, for every option that's standard, for every option price, let's talk about these two models because they look similar for a reason. Now, Alfa White, this is the only white you can get in 2022. So if it's white, it's white. It's Alfa White. This is the standard color, no upcharge for the option. Now, as far as the wheel options, well, these are not the standard wheel. This is the upcharged wheel, so this is one of the options on this Sprint, which is why it looks exactly like the TI, because that's the TI standard wheel. This is an upcharge for the Sprint. All right, so let's talk about the body of both of these cars because they are different, but you have to get up close to them to see. Now notice that on the rear of the Sprint, we have plastic black cladding all around the bumper here. The rear diffuser is dark, all right, and you have the dark black exhaust surround as well, all right? So that plastic cladding actually goes along the wheel wells and down the side skirts of the Sprint, as you guys can see, and then up to the little piece on the front bumper, all right? So that's all the black plastic cladding. Well, on the TI, we actually have a Vesuvio gray body kit. So that is painted in Vesuvio gray to go all around the bumper. You have the aluminum rear diffuser. You still have the black exhaust tips. And then that Vesuvio gray body kit goes all around that wheel well and down the side skirts and up to the front, just like the plastic cladding does on the Sprint, all right? So you get a little bit more luxury because this is supposed to be the luxury model. So you have the aluminum rear diffuser and the body kit colored to Vesuvio gray to where it's just plastic cladding on the standard model. If you take a look up top, you'll see that we have a panoramic roof on the TI to where the Sprint, we do not. But we can get the panoramic roof on the Sprint, but we're gonna have to pay $1,350. So with that said, this is standard on the TI model to where the Sprint, it's an option, which is nice, but it's a big option. Now, sticking with that same theme of luxury, the Scudetto V-shaped grille up front is done in aluminum here on the TI spec to match the aluminum rear diffuser. But if you go to the Sprint model, well, you have a black rear diffuser, right? Makes total sense. So then what do you think the Scudetto grille will be up front if we're going with the same kind of symmetrical theme here? You got it right. It's done in black, all right? So black for the front and the back of the Sprint, aluminum for the back and the front of the TI. And this might not mean much to you guys, but that TI badge shows a little bit more presence and brand identity to where we do not have a Sprint badge on the Sprint for the front fender. So with that said, I mean, it's a small thing, but it does make a difference because you do know what model you're driving. It just kind of gives it a little bit more road presence when you do see that badge, especially for those on the outside looking in. Now, when it comes to the interior between the two, well, there's not much of a difference currently, but the options available are different. For instance, in the Sprint here, you have to pay a big price for some red sports seats, but you can get red sports seats in the Sprint. Now, for the Stelvio TI here, you can't get red sports seats, but you can get the chocolate seats, which are significantly less, and they are the standard seats to where the Sprint has the red sports seats, all right? So only chocolate standard seats in the TI are your upgradable option to where the Sprint, you can get red sports seats. Also, if you guys didn't notice, this has black trim on the door, all right, or sorry, black trim throughout to where the TI for that luxury trim has the brown trim, all right, so same for the center console, all right, brown trim and black trim for the Sprint. Now, they come with a host of options already like wireless charging. You also have heated rear seats, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, all that stuff is standard in both. What's one thing that you guys notice that the Sprint has that the Stelvio TI does not have? Yeah, if you were guessing, those big Italian paddle shifters, you were right. The Sprint gets these Italian paddle shifters standard. Now for the TI, it doesn't get them standard, and you cannot option them on the TI. They do not come with paddles at all. Even the Veloce comes with paddles, and that's the top trim level. But the Sprint and the Veloce, I mean, that's it. They're completely different when it comes to the steering wheel without those paddles. Now, to some, that might not be a big deal, but if you look at this here, the steering wheel here, and you look at it here, it looks a lot sportier, a lot better. Just, I mean, it completes the steering wheel with those Italian paddles that we know and love from Alfa. So since the TI here is the luxury model, again, you know, paddle shifters isn't really luxury or luxurious, so I get it. So that's one of the things that would change between the two. Now, there's other options you can get on this, like the sound and interior package, which would make this whole upper on the door card here and the door paneling leather with contrasted stitching. All right, well, sorry, not contrasted stitching, Nero stitching normally. And then you also would get the Harman Kardon sound system, and that extended leather and stitching would go up on the top of the dash. All right, you do not get that option here on the Sprint. On the Sprint, it has to stay this way as far as getting any kind of interior and sound package. So no upgraded sound or no upgraded leather on the Sprint here. So these are a couple of things that are different from the two and different options you can get for the two. But I mean, looking at it from side to side here, I mean, between the two, it's really tough. All right, so now I have both stickers here so you guys can see the option breakdown and the price breakdown between these two Alfa Romeo Stelvios for 2022. So with that said, the Sprint here on my left starts at $45,150. All right, then the TI on my right starts at $50,200. Then after options and the destination, you're looking at a total price of $48,295 for the Sprint, where you're looking at a total price of $52,345 for the TI. Now you do have a $1495 destination charge for these cars, all right? 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty throughout the whole lineup. So here's the difference. Now, the optional equipment on the Sprint, I told you it had two options, and I told you those wheels were one of them, all right? $1,000 to get the same wheels that you get on the TI for free, all right? So the Sport 5-hole wheels, 19 inches, $1,000. Now you also have the red brake calipers here for $650, all right? Those are your two options on the Sprint to bring it to that total price. Now for the TI, you only have one option on it, and it's the red brake calipers, all right? Because that TI package, these are the options that come with it, but it's a TI in itself, so it's not an extra cost on top of it being a TI, if that makes sense. So with the TI package, you get the Vesuvio gray kit and a 6-way power adjustable driver's seat with a 6-way power adjustable front seat. Then you have those gloss red calipers, $650 for those. So they both have $650 calipers. This just has the wheels to get to the same level of wheels as this car here, which puts it at that price. But again, that's it. That's the difference between those two. Again, I talked about the fuel economy here, all right, with the Sprint being just 1 mile per gallon off over the TI here, all right? So the city is the same, but the highway and combined are different, all right? So just to show you guys that, again, fuel economy, I mean, it really matters these days. So, show you guys the Sprint, all the stuff that comes with it standard. Make sure you guys check that out so you can see. Slow it down, zoom in, so you can see everything that this car comes with at $45,150 standard. And then the TI at $50,200. It's everything that comes with this standard. All right, we didn't talk about the level 2 ADAS, which you can also upgrade to on the TI here. I mentioned it briefly, but I did not compare and contrast between the level 1 that comes on the Sprint and level 2 you can option out here. But at the same time, they're basically the same car. So which one is better value for you guys? All right, guys, so which one is it gonna be, the Sprint or the TI? I really do love the paddle shifters. That's the big thing for me. And I really do love the dark accents on the Sprint model. So if you're a sportier person, you'll probably go for the Sprint. If you're more of a luxury person, more under the radar classy, then you might go for the TI. Let me know down in the comments below, which one's better value for the money? Which one are you taking? And if you guys did enjoy the video today, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Giving the video a like will help get it up in the rankings. More people can see it, and we'll have a bigger discussion on the TI versus the Sprint. which 2022 Alfa Romeo Stelvio wins that battle. Now, with that said, if you guys want to help further support the channel, always check the links down below. I have a one-time link donation for my PayPal, my Cash App, and my Venmo, just in case you guys want to donate $1 or $2 to the channel. I appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much, guys. You can also check out the Ron's Rise merch in case you want long sleeve shirts, stickers, glasses, tote bags, everything Ron's Rise is there. I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. See everything I'm posting, Ferrari, Maserati, and Alfa Romeo. It doesn't always make it here to the channel. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel, but click that notification bell so you won't miss one video. With that said, you guys be blessed, have a great day, and we will talk to you guys in the next Ron's Rise video. Peace.